online. We're going to continue on with our Klingon captain. Um, Sorry about the late stream. I kind of fell asleep about 7:30 ish, which I guess I slept for about an hour. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Um, you might hear my voice being a little bit different. It's My voice gets a little bit deeper sometimes if I have a really nice nap, or if I sleep really heavily. I don't honestly know why it does this. Um, but I mean, overall, it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and get in game and then play. But yeah, I just that like I fell asleep at like 7:30 and just woke up at 9, so it takes a moment to get ready, but yeah, so back. Um, let's see, what were we? Go to the Ketha Lowlands. Oh, right, we were going to do the funeral for not yeah, okay. All right, let's see my channel. Lower that and go here. Okay. I'll go ahead and let this fly itself. Um, Didn't take too long to get there, and while that's happening, I can go ahead and do this. My usual Discord posting. I still need to automate this. Okay. But yeah, just having a little bit of fun today. Like I said, as you hear as I'm talking, my voice should go right back to being normal. It's again, I don't normally do anything to alter my voice. I might do something if I want to sing a little bit deeper or something like that. Just in the sake of having fun. But I'm not really somebody who I don't have a soundboard, so it's not like I'm gonna be just all willy nilly changing up my voice, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it's just you know one of those things. I think what it is because I am a diabetic, so I think what happens is like a lot of my a lot of my muscles and stuff will tighten and kind of are semi crystallized thanks to sugars and stuff like that. Or thanks to excess sugars, that sort of thing. And I think what it is my vocal cords either, when I say tighten, to make them a little bit deeper while I'm sleeping and stuff, and then They expand as I warm them up, basically, or as they get used. But yeah, it's one of those weird things. I do kind of wish it. That See, there it goes. It goes kind of breaking. I'm 31. I should not be experiencing voice cracks like that. Um, but yeah, it's one of those kind of weird things where it's just yeah. It fluctuates every now and again. It's weird. It's something that probably shouldn't happen. Something I've been dealing with since I was a teen. Well, even before that. I mean, as a kid, if I got sick and just slept like really for a long period, or what I like to call sleeping hard, which is when you wake up with like the marks from your sheets and stuff on you, like you just feel like you slept like not heavily like you were hard to wake up, but like heavily as in you sank into your bed an extra 2 inches that day. And I am flying into the sun. Like, honestly, I think in the show, if a bird of prey got this close, it would all your systems were fried. But it was like, my voice would always be deeper after that, and no real clue as to why. All right, now let's get back on with the mission. After it loads, as you do. Huh. Is that an Alachi vessel? Interesting. The Alachi vessel is down at the bottom left of the fleet.
Leven was the heir of House Martok. We will be diminished without him. He died as a warrior born, and soon he will join his honored ancestors in the halls of Stovokor.
Come, I would offer my condolences. Mulligan. Okay. Come, I would offer my condolences to Lady Cyrilla. There we go. I would also take it off first-person shooter mode and summon my dog. Uh, he's okay. Talk to Lady Cyrilla.
You honor my house by returning the body of Maven to his home. My grandson was very traditional. In his honor, we shall perform an akvo. Together, we will follow our ancient traditions by watching over Maven until his spirit is ready for the journey to Stovokor.
Alright.
I would be honored if you joined us in the akvo.
We would be honored to join you, Lady Cyrilla.
In the flash, before the night, you heard the call of Stovokor. The warriors singing. Cry out your name. Welcome home. Welcome home. Let not your heart be filled with fear. The spirit soars on honor's wings. Your heart is singing. You found your way. Welcome home. Welcome home.
Dog
Thank
running in
you
the background.
for participating in the Akvo. It is important that we remember our traditions. Together, we have kept away the predators that would take Meven's body before his spirit was ready to leave for Stovokor. Now he may seek the fellowship of Martok and continue the warrior's journey.
Now, this is in Klingon, this first word, so hopefully I say it correctly. Also, the way he said Stovokor. Alright, like he said Stovokor instead of Stovokor. Which is interesting. Okay. Teskas, Worf. You are a worthy Gintak to the House of Martok. Ugh. I hope I said that right. Not Tirok or something like that.
Pardon my interruption, Gintok. We have an urgent security matter. House of Torg warriors was seen gathering in the first city. We have word that they are planning an assault, and will be here any moment.
They dare attack during Maven's Akvo? They have no honor.
Send an alert to everyone on the estate. I will see to Lady Sorella. Prepare your men. We will not let these dogs catch us by surprise.
Today is a good day to die.
Here they come. Show them no mercy.
Defend Lady Sorella!
Oh, come on. Not a single one of those hit.
House Torg will end you, Martok fool! And your pathetic out! You desecrated the Akvo, and for that, you will die!
Preparing for Grathor. More enemies approach.
Eat landmines. Darn it, I'm being flanked, okay. Yeah. Did they kill my dog?
Torg sent his lackeys to attack us during a sacred ritual. He is truly a dishonorable Takek, and I will have my vengeance. Worf, Kemtar, honored allies of House Martok, hear me now. Lead our warriors against the House of Torg, and bring an end to their treachery once and for all.
After everything you have done on behalf of the House of Martok, I ask that you see this campaign to its conclusion. The House of Torg must not be allowed to survive this day. The House of Torg's main base is located in the Gorath system. I will prepare our fleet, and we will attack while we have the advantage. Take Alexander with you, and he will ensure your ship is recognized as an ally by our fleet. Torg will soon discover that the House of Martok is stronger than he was led to believe. Make contact with the fleet when you enter the Gorath system to receive further instructions.
How can we prepare for the battle?
Invading the House of Torg in the Gorath system will be the most difficult engagement you have faced thus far. It would be wise to pick up any necessary supplies you need and ensure your ship and away team are fully prepared for battle before you leave the Chronos system. You will find vendors in the first city as well as the exchange, where you can purchase weapons and gear for your crew and starship.
Okay, back.
After everything you have done on behalf of the House of Martok, I ask that you see this campaign to its conclusion. The House of Torg must not be allowed to survive this day. Take Alexander with you, and he will ensure your ship is recognized as an ally by our fleet. Torg will soon discover that the House of Martok is stronger than he was led to believe.
There we go. See? He was repeating the same dialogue, so I kind of skipped ahead. But I waited until what would be a good interruption point. So, before he started giving us the meta, make sure your ship is better than it was. And all that. Or go to this and contact our fleet here. Also, Battle for Quonos. Empire in the Riemann Klingon best served cold or to hell with honor. Team. Okay. We put in coordinates for the Gorath system into our navigational computer, Lieutenant. We are ready to leave orbit on your command. Warp to the Gorath system. And ooh, after this I should be getting my new ship. So I think it's after this. And yeah, see right there, that's the what are they called? The Alachi, the Tholians, the people who make webs. They're basically spider people. Kind of interesting. I don't recognize this one. Oh wait, here we go. Nakthul and something else. Shoot. The red alert fence are
We've
still going.
arrived in the Gorath system. Our transponder signal has been linked to the Martok fleet commander, and we're receiving battle instructions. The IKS Mooj will follow us. Our task is to destroy hard assets that Torg could use to mount a counterattack.
Alright. To battle! No. I forgot. I do love that acting cloak. So we're supposed to attack there, and then there's like 2 freighters over there that we are supposed to go get. Let's go ahead and full speed over there. Full torpedo spread. Decloaking. Another torpedo. Oh shoot, I'm targeting something else. Gotcha. Alrighty, time to target the main station. Firing proton torpedoes. Okay, and then off by... There you are. Combat cloak. Full speed ahead. Just need to get
There
close.
is one of the freighters. Target it before it can escape.
Come on. Okay, its shields are down. Or at least one of its shields are down. Now, for some reason, these freighters have a ton of health. Gotcha. But yeah, just... So the real question is what would be a good topic to talk about? Because honestly, there's not a whole lot new going on in the world, considering, like, I mean, half of us are still in lockdown thanks to, you know, COVID and all that. There is the fact that the Kyle Rittenhouse case jury is in deliberation. Which I think is an interesting little factoid. Back to Cloak. Decloak. Oh, good. Oh, it's an extra guy for me to shoot at. Scan rubidium ore. So, okay, this is actually an interesting little thing. The scanning that you can do in this game. It's for research that you unlock later on, but it's like research you don't really have to do. Because all it does is it gives you some fairly basic upgrades for your ship that are, that you could do, like, a little bit better, but aren't quite, like, better than what you unlock by doing the missions and stuff. It's weird how it works. Okay, I see Freighter's soul. But, actually, did I... Okay, the Mudgy's still there. I don't think I've actually done any of the scanning on screen. So essentially, it's a mini game where you just match the wavelengths and call it good. And then it gives you stuff for crafting. And you get like different stuff. Okay. Klingon birds of prey are best used. Like this. Just trying to get behind the meteor and block my ability to attack him. Okay. Huh. I do find it interesting that they decide to announce that people have won prizes and stuff. But yeah, the Klingon ship turns the fastest when it's moving forward and stuff because it's a strike craft. It's meant to get in and out of places really fast and easy.
There is one of the freighters. Target it before it can escape.
There we go. Yeah, got it in the tractor beam. I will say this, it's hilarious how, like, tractor beams are simply basically giant space magnets. Yeah, but I've learned in most video games you never want to fly faster than your opponents. Especially in games where they have facing shields. Because, like, in this game, it doesn't really matter where you face your opponent, because overall, they'll eventually... like, in this game, your entire ship is armed to the teeth. It eventually you get 3 to 4 forward-facing weapons, and at least 2 to 3 rear-facing weapons. So no matter where your enemy goes, you can always hit him. That's just how it goes. Yep, there's the Mudge. But overall, it is fairly simple as to the mechanics of the game. It's just you never want to outrun your enemies because, especially in a ship like the Bird of Prey, where your strongest weapons are your forward-facing ones. And why couldn't I? I love how this is supposedly the hardest fight I've ever faced, and yet it's the same that I've been doing the entire time. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be very hard if I wasn't such a champion. Or, you know, for some reason my Bird of Prey is 10 times better than theirs. I just call it poor maintenance.
With these assets destroyed, House Torg will be unable to resupply their forces. Their ability to fight will be greatly limited. Now, Torg must be brought before the Council, so that we may reveal the depths of his house's treachery.
Alright, away beam. Away beam. Away team, beam down. Which is hilarious, because as captain of the ship, I beam to the surface of the planet. Star Trek has a real issue with doing that, it seems.
At last, the stronghold of House Torg. This will be over soon. Torg is here, trapped like a Hadibach. That will make him dangerous, but not invincible. Coward that he is, Torg will put all of his warriors in our path, including his son, Sagan. Perhaps we will have vengeance for Maven sooner than we expected.
Do not let your anger blind you, or your father may need lead another Akvo soon. I need a vocal coach. I'm joking, of course. It's also Sagan, Maven, Kimtar. They like putting random letters in front of things.
Sagan's quarters are up ahead. Despite being an idiot and a follower, he is the heir of House Torg. He will have supported his father in all things, even the killing of Maven. For that, he must pay. Honor demands it.
Then it will be so. Quapla! Which is basically cheers, or kampai. Because Klingons are this weird combination of space orc and Japanese samurai? I guess would be the best way to say it. Talshiar and Sagan. Okay.
What's this? My time has passed. Here, madness.
how they call us assassins when we're doing an actual, like, full frontal assault. Come on, Talshiar. Like, we're not only doing a full frontal assault, but we're also technically in the right as far...
Severed Martar's bloodline when he killed Maven. Now, with the death of Sagen, we have our revenge.
And yet, both houses are now forever bound in grief.
As it has always been, my friend. As it always will be. For we are Klingon.
And now that you have your revenge,
we must seek any further evidence of Torg's treason. We can use what we find when we bring him before the council.
assuming he lives to stand trial for his crimes. So yeah, if you're wondering what all of the crimes are, it's not just like he killed the son of a great house, which is in and of itself a huge insult and a crime, because the great houses are basically your council members and stuff like that. And I just got a new suit of armor. I'll take that. Let's see. You need a suit of armor. Cool. But, on top of it, he's also trading gear and stuff like that to the enemies of the Klingon High Council and stuff, and to the enemies of the Klingon race. Now, that's actually more of an issue as far as the Klingons are concerned than the actual killing of members of the council. Which is something I kind of like about the Klingons, is they, like, fighting amongst council members, that's completely fine. But if you're gonna fight...
Idiots! You told us this place was secure!
Romulans. But if you're gonna fight, you do it up front. Like, had they actually just flat out killed Kimtar, or Maven, sorry. Yeah, had they outright just killed Maven in combat, like at the Batleth tournament, it would have been fine. Even if they had done something a little bit underhanded, like over-sharpening a Batleth or two, or, maybe putting a little bit of poison in blood wine. At that point, it would have been Maven's fault that he died. Because he wasn't being vigilant enough, essentially. But they allied themselves with enemies of the Empire, and then killed him outside of combat, essentially. So it would be like... It's almost like going to war. It's fine to go to war and to kill people in the context of war. But if that if that soldier comes home and kills somebody on our soil, even if that person was to be aggressive towards them, it's still wrong for that soldier to kill them outright unless that person was threatening that soldier's life. So say they went to a bar and got into a bar brawl, and the soldier used some of his training from, being a soldier, and snapped a guy's neck. In the context of that fight, that soldier is in the wrong for killing him. Now, combine that with, let's say the soldier was hanging out with, some enemies of the state and did that. That's essentially what just happened.
You dare to interrupt my drinking? You Martok fools must really want to die.
Oh yeah, and for some reason they decided that they were gonna make some of the Klingons disgusting. As you just heard, like... Cardassian Taspar egg. Okay. Also, I just saw a full auto rifle. Type 2. Let's see. You are using a... Pulse Wave. Let's go full auto. But yeah. But enough about that. Actually, that does kind of bear some things on a something I mentioned earlier, which is the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Again,
Those shipping containers in the back court are not of Klingon design.
I don't know, those are definitely Romulans.
These are Romulan shipping containers, but they're filled with Klingon weapons and technology. These crates are similar to those we found in the Vor system. According to the shipping manifests, they're scheduled to be transferred to a freighter with a destination somewhere within Romulan space. This evidence connects Tor directly to the information we received from the Romulan Republic captain. Tor is selling weapons and secrets to the Tal Shiar, and in exchange, they provide him with deniable assets, ships and assassins to remove his competitors.
Alright. Torg's dishonor is great. He must pay for his treason. But, yeah, that's actually is a great, like, segue into the, Kyle Rittenhouse, court case. So what he's on trial for is not the fact that he killed some people, because we have video evidence that he did that. The problem is the context, because he was in Kenosha because not only did he work there, but originally the story was he was asked to be there by his boss or some family friends to guard a business. Now, during the course of the night, he was rendering, like, first aid. He was just making sure that the immediate area around him didn't get too rambunctious. And at some point during the night, these guys decided to light a dumpster on fire and push it into a gas station. Now, the thing you're not hearing in the news and stuff like that is that could devastate, you know, the entire block, if not more. Them pushing that dumpster into a gas station should be the equivalent to attempted murder, right then and there. Because when that gas station ignites and explodes, everybody around it dies. Like, anybody close by, anybody inside looting and all that. So Kyle runs out with a fire extinguisher and his gun on its strap, right? Like, it's hanging at his chest. And he puts out the dumpster fire. Well, then the rioters start yelling at him and saying, get him, you know, saying all kinds of stuff. We have all this on video. He begins running. At some point during the chase, somebody in the crowd shoots at him, which causes him to drop to one knee and take aim. Well, one of the first guys to attack him, while unarmed, still dove for him. Like, he was trying to get his rifle away from him. So Kyle shoots that guy. Then another guy comes up behind Kyle and hits him over the head with his skateboard. Well, Kyle shoots that guy too. And then there's a third guy, and this is the most dangerous of them all, who is a felon, and he pulls out a pistol to try and shoot Kyle. Now, this guy is saying, oh, well, the injury I got, I couldn't have gotten if I didn't have my arms up. Except for one major problem with this guy's story. In the video, he's aiming his gun at Kyle. He's aiming his pistol at Kyle, who then shoots him in his bicep. The reason the angle of the bullet is the way that it is because Kyle is still on his knees. Because he dropped to one knee to shoot, so he's still below the guy. Because you're talking about a 17-year-old kid and a, full adult who's also a felon, which means he's usually felons are the, burliest, tallest guys around because they think they can intimidate everybody around them. So the entire court case is about that. Now, here's the thing. The news, like CNN, isn't showing like the full video clips and stuff. And they have like the felon who should be in jail on the gun charge because he broke his parole.
You fight well, but you will go no further, assassins!
How are we the assassins? We're not getting paid to assault this place. And we're not doing it from the shadows either. We are literally walking through the front door. And at any point, if these guys just backed off, they would not die. We are here to arrest people. Nothing further. Eat landmines. But yeah, again, it's all about, like, context. Like, these people are calling us assassins. How on earth do we qualify for assassins? We are not actually here to kill anybody. We are here to arrest people. And seize assets. Because they broke the law.
Torg must be locked in his audience chamber. We must get those doors open.
Ah, yes. Time to hack a panel. Because that's the Klingon way. Yeah, I still don't get how this exactly works. Ooh, I can summon another puppy. Summon puppy. Wait. My other one disappeared. That's weird. That's... must be in the patch.
That is far enough, you filthy piece of bastard! Did you think you could walk into my home, kill my son, and live to tell about it? I will personally drag you and every other misbegotten member of your house to the frozen core of Rurapinte, where you will all die without honor!
You'll be heading there yourself, Torg, if Jimpok doesn't have you killed.
Your corruption is poison. You talk of honor, but have none of your own. You see power, yet trade it to our enemies for personal gain. You rule a great house, yet have no understanding of what makes our people great.
Kimtar, I know you like flowery words, but come on, man. He acts like this guy is supposed to care about all this, but the problem is he obviously doesn't. It's over, Torg. Surrender or fight, if you are truly Klingon.
Don't talk to me of our people, Alexander, son of Worf. It is because of half-breeds like you that our people have grown weak. The fact that Martok accepted you into his family is reason enough for me to destroy his house. You have no idea what the future holds for our people. If you knew what the Romulans have told me, you would beg to join us.
Which is hilarious because they literally have documents given to them by a time traveler. Like, the Klingons will talk about prophecies and stuff like that because somebody from like 1,000 years in the future went back in time, like before the series of Star Trek ever took place, and gave them documents of the future. How messed up is that? The Romulans have filled your foolish head with lies.
Whatever the future may bring to the Empire, you will not be a part of it, Torg. I will see to that. Perhaps in the future there will be peace between our houses. But
Again, it's like, what, what is this dialogue? We are here to arrest this guy because he's trading weapons to the Romulans. Continue.
You dare insult me with talk of peace? As you stand there with the blood of my son on your hands?
Technically, we shot his son with a disruptor pistol, which means there is no blood. Like, honestly, there is no blood. The wound cauterizes immediately.
There will be no peace between us, mongrel. I will not rest until every man, woman, and child of House Martok are among the honorless dead, bound for Grethor.
So, literally, he just said, because Grethor is the Klingon hell, that he will not rest until every man, woman, and child are dead and bound to hell because he's a racist. If you remember, he said that half-breeds because Alexander is, I want to say, half human, but he might also be half Trill. Yeah. So it's like, what? I'm a racist, so your family's going to hell. That's not how hell works, dude. So there is still part of you that is Klingon after all. Landmines. Attack!
Take care of these assassins, and bring me Alexander. I want to teach him a lesson.
And he beams out, if I recall. I do love that you can get out of grenades because they have the grenades do that. Like, they show you where they're going to land, and then they allow you to walk out of the splash zone. See? A lot of games would not let you do that.
use this transport.
Did he just slap me in the face with a dagger? Like, I would say stab, but he legitimately did not stab me. He, like, held the dagger upright and slashed at me, but because of the way the dagger
He has
was...
escaped for now, but when we are finished, we will make sure that he has nowhere to run. There will be no safe haven in the entire Empire for Tor.
But yeah, because he was holding the dagger vertically and didn't, like, hold it out or anything, he slapped me with it. Okay.
We must
What do you
take the
propose?
evidence we've collected to Kronos and present it to the High Council. Once Chancellor Jempok knows of Torg's treason, there will be justice at last. Perhaps they will put Torg into my old cell on Rurapente. It is more than he deserves, but it would be poetic.
So, third way to say that planet's name, Rurapente. You've called it Rurapente before. You've said the actual name of the planet before. Also, why would they put him in, like, Rurapente has no solitary confinement from what I've seen. It is a giant barracks that's in the ice that you put every single prisoner in. How is that a good idea? Beam to ship. Bye, Kimtar. Okay, so it's Zenkethi are all on the offensive. So these guys must be the Zenkethi, because that's the Alachi, that's the Thorlians. Nakthul are these guys, I believe. Borg, of course. So these must be the Zenkethi. Wonder what those guys look like.
Incoming hail. It is my father.
I will put it on screen.
The remainder of our fleet has assembled in the system. The House of Torg has called in Romulan reinforcements. But if we stick to our offensive strategy, we will prevail. Form up behind the IKS Taj, and we will teach these fools how to fight ship to ship.
We are honored to fight with House Martok. You know, because the game demands it. Let's say that. Besides, I do like the ship-to-ship combat in this game. I do kind of wish I could use my joystick like X4, though. Have a photon torpedo. Actually, the hilarious part is Whoopi Goldberg was on Star Trek for the longest time. So, you get a photon torpedo. And you get a photon torpedo. Everybody gets a photon torpedo. Oh, targeted that guy. Oh, that's a D9 destroyer, or D7? Honestly, probably not one of the ships I'll be getting. Why? Oh, he's above me. Sometimes the angle is kind of hard to... And modulating the shields. Come on. So, yeah. Accolade complete, defending the status quo. Which is actually not something I'm doing. Okay. We are ready to leave the system on your command. Warp to Kronos. Ugh. See, even I mispronounce it sometimes, and I know what it's supposed to sound like. But I'm also not a paid actor, so... yeah. But no, I want to know what the Klingon disruptors are supposed to be, because the Romulans use plasma, which is what's supposed to make their weapons so deadly. Like, so I don't understand why the Romulans, especially the Tal Shiar, need Klingon disruptors, because the disruptors are actually supposed to be less powerful than the Romulan plasma weapons, but more powerful than the Federation phaser tech.
Reading a few ships on attack vectors, all with House Torg registries. Someone doesn't want us to present our evidence to the High Council. It does not matter. I did not come this far to fall in battle to the lackeys of Torg.
Let's show them the error of their ways. All hands, prepare for battle. And, yeah. Eat photon torpedo spread. Oh, of course, So the hilarious part is, that's my next option for a ship. Now, you might be asking why I go with the photon torpedo spread, even when, like, their shields are up and stuff. The reason for that is photon torpedo spread gets me the most bang for my buck. Because it's not just 1 or 2 torpedoes, it's a full spread. It's turning again. So essentially, it's almost like a focused, well, it's exactly what it is. It's a focused attack. Because it's normally like 3 to 4 torpedoes against multiple targets, but it's also 3 to 4 torpedoes against a single target. Okay.
My father has contacted Chancellor Jempok and explained the situation. He is waiting for us in the Great Hall. The Chancellor and the High Command are waiting for us as well. There, my father will formally accuse Torg of treason.
Continue.
Father tells me that Torg will be present as well. That should make things interesting.
Beam to the Great Hall. Okay. Yeah, honestly, the red alerts don't get you much very good stuff either, so... Which is hilarious, because these experimental ship upgrades token, ultimate tech upgrade, that just puts your low-level tech, like, say, you have a really nice torpedo launcher, like the Harpang, that you get at, like, level 2, but but you're, like, a high-end captain, like a rear admiral, or something like that. The equipment upgrade allows you to upgrade that torpedo launcher to the appropriate level. That's it. But here's the stupid thing about that. I can replay missions. Meaning I can go back to the mission where I got that torpedo launcher, play it again, and get a torpedo launcher that is leveled up for me. Which I like better than the whole, I'm going to grind out, like, these missions repeatedly to get the stuff to create the upgraded version. Okay, let's see. Greet Worf.
It is time. We must confront Torg. Tell me when you are ready.
Alright, and because I'm streaming and stuff, I'll get out my puppy, but, who will present the evidence?
It is my duty to represent the House of Martok in this matter. I have reviewed the evidence that you and Kemtar have gathered, and I may call upon you to present your findings as testimony. However, you are not to speak unless asked by myself or a member of the High Council.
Okay, back.
It is time. We must confront Torg. Tell me when you are ready.
Okay. Also, what happened to Kimtar's eyes? Huh. I am ready. You know the sad part? I think I'm still the sharpest dressed person in the room. Welcome new allies to the Empire to this chamber.
Ambassador Worf and Kimtar. An interesting band of warriors, to be sure. The time has come. We are ready to hear your claim. Are you prepared to show evidence to support it?
We are, Chancellor.
Worf, son of Moog, you have called this council on a very serious matter. Speak.
The House of Martok will show evidence that Torg, son of Cormog, has committed acts of treason.
I will not stand by. and let the House of Martok spread more lies and deceit to this council.
This brave warrior, together with my son Alexander, uncovered a plot by the House of Torg to transfer weapons and classified technology to our enemies in the Romulan Star Empire. We have presented to the Chancellor's aides physical evidence and computer logs that will trace stolen weapons from the exchange through the House of Torg to agents within the Tal Shiar.
This dishonorable Bakta would say anything to hide the weakness and decay in his own house. The evidence is clear, Tog. It is the finding of this council that you have lost all sight of honor and are guilty of treason. The accusation stands. The judgment is discommendation. From this point forward, the House of Torg will be no more.
I love how they literally give him the...
My son, you have stripped my House of Honor. I will burn in the fires of Breathor, but not before I kill you.
Father, look out!
Alexander!
We will control the Empire. Kill these fools!
Not before I get you with landmines, Mufa. I mean, if they walk around them. Is that it? Let's go ahead and switch weapons back to B. See, the nice thing is they give you a reason to use melee weapons too, because they bypass your shields, which is smart. Tend to Kimtar.
It seems I am not the warrior I should have been, Father.
You were warrior enough to save me. All that matters now is that you are my son.
And for that, I am proud.
Save your strength, son. Help is coming.
They will be too late. Today is a good day to die.
It will be a good death. You are a warrior.
See, and that's the one thing I don't like about this particular mission. See, in the show, unless they wanted to basically really, really dick over Worf, they would have never killed his son. Because that's not how a movie or even a video game should end, right? It's not like, here's the thing. Worf is a beloved character. People don't want to see him suffer, or at least not suffer this much. With Alexander's death, thus ends the line of Worf. Right? So again, beloved character, like everybody rooted for Worf and stuff in the show. He was a lot like Data. And in all honesty, again, this is something that never should have happened because Worf is a security officer. It has been for most of his life. He was raised by humans and stuff. That's why he didn't quite fit in with the Klingons. Um, at least at first. Also, I'm stepping on Kimtar's hand, and that's not good. But yeah, he like Worf is an orphan. His parents, I don't remember everything about it, but if I recall, there was one episode where he got to meet his father, and his father was a typical Klingon. This is not what anybody wanted for Worf. And I mean, you could say, oh, well, they're subverting expectations, but no, 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 no. Here's the thing. While I love the Klingon storylines and stuff, and it's fun to play them, this was an unnecessary death that they used to dick over Worf. And I will say this. That is one thing I am not cool about this game doing. Because you don't treat, a beloved character of myself like that, and give his son a stupid death because everybody turned their backs to somebody that they knew was a criminal who has assassinated people before. I mean, I understand tradition and all that, but they literally just crossed their hands and put their backs to him, and it's like, la la la, I can't hear you. In a warrior society, with nobody watching him, somebody who's dishonorable, who has backstabbed people before, and they let him pull out a gun and shoot somebody.
This tragedy will not be forgotten. I want to thank you for rescuing my son from Rurapente and allowing him to die with honor. You have done much for the House of Martok, but we have also lost much.
We will see Alexander again in Stovacor.
Perhaps, but the pain will remain. Alexander never realized that he truly was Kimtar, both then and now. We must remember to stay true to our beliefs. Only then can we live and die with honor. Until we meet again, warrior.
Farewell, Worf, son of Moog. Lieutenant, what are your orders? Return to the first city. But yeah, it's just, again, it's one of those weird things. And, like, the dialogue for the entire thing was kind of meh. But that's Star Trek in general, Not every episode was amazing. But it was...
We will make sure the House of Torg is properly punished for their cowardly actions. Torg has been on the council for many years, and I thought I knew his heart. I was wrong. I had no part in or knowledge of his acts against the House of Martok. For that, he will pay dearly.
Yep. And maybe next time don't turn your back to an active assassin. Just forewarning.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Alright. Yes, promotion. On screen.
Congratulations. You have proven yourself to be a strong warrior and invaluable to the Klingon Empire. Report to the shipyard orbiting Kronos. I would like to formally recognize your contributions to the Empire.
Thank you, Chancellor. I'll make my way to the shipyard here on Kronos. Okay. And it's just saying that everything is going to be stronger and I have access to better ships and stuff.
Kavan, warrior. I bring news from the war and an opportunity for honor and glory. We recently took the Alhena system from the Federation in battle. In response, Starfleet has sent a task force to take it back.
Our forces may not be enough to repel their counterattack. Alhena is an important system. I will not see it fall back into Federation hands. Join me there, and we will teach Starfleet what happens when you defy the Klingon Empire!
Ooh. New guns.
Everything we do is for the Empire.
Okay. Now, this is actually a race that I have. They're kind of cool. To be fair, best looking ones are the females. Just, well, best looking of any race is usually the females, but my opinion might be biased being male. Let's see. Impulse expertise. I want more hull capacity. But, yeah. Just one of those kind of things. Improved endurance, which increases my overall health. Okay. Because there are abilities that just flat out drain your shields. And, like I said, any melee weapon actually goes right through shields. So. But now we get to pick a new ship. Beam to shipyard. Or where would you like to go? Beam to shipyard. But yeah, just all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, let's actually also process my dilithium. Cool. I have 3,000 dilithium. I need like 30,000 if I'm buying ships and stuff. But yeah, but overall, in my opinion, I dislike how little hair options men actually get. Like, a lot of customization systems, men get dicked over by the number of options we get. Because it might say we have as many options as the women for hairstyles, but then when you go through the hairstyles, they're all like the same hairstyle. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, flat top. Oh, sergeant, also flat top, but with different texture. Alright. Congratulations on your promotion, Lieutenant Commander. Chancellor Jimpock has given his blessings for you to choose a ship appropriate to your new stature. There are several impressive vessels to choose from. Take a look at my store, and the starship that are approved for your rank are listed there. Browse starships that are approved for your rank. Alright. So, if I spent enough dilithium, I could get this. Which is a Romulan Star Empire ship. Thing is it does kind of make sense for a Klingon to have a ship like this, because we keep what we steal, or what we capture. So I could legitimately buy this ship and be like, oh yeah, my character caught or captured it. You know, that's kind of how it works. Okay, another Birel. I already have that. Kuldun. Yeah, Kuldun bird of prey. This is a cool one. It actually does have a few options too. Like, look at that. See, to me that's kind of cool. I could do the Raptor, which has no real customization options. I could paint it, but that's about it. Katango battle cruiser. Again, I can paint it, but that's it. Mogai heavy warbird. See, now, this is an interesting one, because again, it's a Romulan ship, but it's also pretty powerful. Now, if I was to actually play a Romulan captain, this would be free. Nog, bird of prey. Now, this is cool because it has extra guns. See, and I love that the variant actually has the guns, like, parceled out instead of on the same wing. I could almost afford that, too. Let's see. like, excuse me, 2 more missions? Ooh, I have to use the restroom real quick. I will be right back. The Katango, or Katinga? Katinga. Oh, hi, Coco. Alright, I am back. But yeah, we're getting into things I can't really afford. Aha, there's a good one. Okay. So let's see. That's why it's expensive. It's actually my next rank up. So when I'm level 20, I get this one for free. Man, did I actually pick one the last time? Okay, forward weapons 3, aft weapons 1. That's not half bad. Forward weapons 3, aft weapons 1. Okay, that's what it was. I picked this one and, like, painted it or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm sticking with a bird of prey. Okay. IKS Yovik. No. IKS... Oh, what is my... I think the current one is Tarok, which means, pitiless. If I do Tra, it means Starfield, and then my next one could be the two combined, and pitiless Starfield. Let's actually just call it the Merciless. Okay. Done. See, oddly enough, they decided to make it where you're not allowed to have your ships named the same. So let's see. Merciless. Ready, Starship. Cool. So let's see. You. Merciless. So honestly, I want the beam array instead of the double photon torpedoes. Because the thing is when you fire a photon torpedo, all torpedo weapons go into a cooldown. So there's no point in having multiple torpedo launchers. Let's see, that is Disruptor Induction Coil. So that's on the ship, and let's see, new deflector dish onto the ship. Ooh, I could have done a Harpang torpedo. mean, it is... It is a tier 2. But again, when I fired that, all torpedoes go into a cooldown. Now, the reason I'm not using the harping torpedo, and I think I mentioned this last time, was the harping torpedo does not gain any benefits from torpedo style officer abilities or even captain abilities. Honestly, the best place for the harping torpedo launcher is the aft weapons area. Because when an enemy gets behind you or is pursuing you, you can hit it with the harping torpedo and it applies the harping radiation. The radiation is an explosion that bypasses shields and damages things around the ship affected by it. That is why you would want that on there. And it does a massive amount of damage. It does about 15% of the hull when it does that. And again, it doesn't matter if they have their shields up or not. The only problem is like I said, it doesn't have a higher... It doesn't benefit from high yield. It doesn't benefit from spread. And there's one more torpedo thing that it also doesn't benefit from. So it can't multi-target. It can't do any of that. Again, the explosion is nice, but the explosion doesn't go through shields. So while you're bypassing a single ship's shields with the torpedo, and it does work fairly well, your tactical officer just becomes useless, almost. So let's customize the Starship. Let's see. Material, type 2. What is type 0? Yeah. Type 1? Type 2. Type 2 is very pretty. Type 3. Let's keep it on type 2, I guess. Okay, colors. I want blue. And I want green. And again, this is where a lot of my stuff goes with this kind of thing. Windows none. Klingon. Let's do that one. Layout. Large, medium. Let's do large. Bridge. Really? Okay. Cool. So, let's see. The hull. That's that. Alrighty. Huh. That's actually kind of pretty. I do tend to go with, like, Virgo or Orion, just because... Let's do Virgo, actually. They tend to use both colors. Ooh, Leo is good on that one. Yeah, I don't know why this is like one of the main things that I do when I... Yeah, that's kind of pretty. Virgo. Ooh, but that is just nice. Look at that. Like, here's the thing. I am a big fan of customization. I know I've said this before, but the more customization they allow you to do in a game, the more I like the game, because honestly, gameplay gets boring after a while. I hate to say this, but no matter which game I've ever played, after a bit, the gameplay just kind of becomes lackluster, because you're doing the same stuff every time. Let's do that one. Like, even in this game, what's the primary thing that you do? You fly to a location, you shoot a bunch of ships, you leave. You fly to a location, you shoot a bunch of ships, you leave. You fly to a location, you beam down to the surface, you shoot a bunch of people, then you leave. again, every gameplay has what's called the gameplay loop. To me, the more stuff that pops up to break up the gameplay loop, the better. Because then it's not just I fly to a location, I shoot a bunch of stuff, I leave. It is I fly, or I get my new ship, I fly to a new location, and I shoot stuff up and I leave. Or I come here, customize the ship a little bit, then fly to the new location, battle a bunch of stuff, and then leave. Right? Okay. And this is gonna be me versus the Fekiri, I think is the next one. I got some gas. Oh, I'm like underneath somebody, aren't I? There I am. Okay, go to Mars to bring her. Oh, okay. I remember this mission. Let's go. So actually, I need to do this. Okay. Plot a course. Because for some reason the transwarp thing isn't showing up, so whatever. Now, I do also still need to know if you guys want me to read the descriptions of the planets and stuff that we get to. I mean, honestly, it's not as interesting as you would think, and because it's all like, oh, this is an M-class planet that appeared in this episode where so-and-so did this thing. Or, you know, it's basically just lore articles. Enter ground war. Yeah, during the Borg incursions into the Alpha Quadrant. Between Imperial Wars and Borg clones. I'm pretty sure that's for later in the game. Because I think at level 40, you get the TFOs for the Borg stuff. Which, honestly, is one of my biggest problems with games like this. I understand that this is what's considered an MMO. But, the best part of a game like this is to, like... So, an MMO is a mass multiplayer, of course. And the multiplayer part of it is supposed to come into play. But in my opinion, if you cannot complete the storyline to a game, or all the quests in a storyline in a game, by yourself, there is no point in them making the game. Because here's the thing, I don't have a lot of friends that play this game, right? And I was always taught as a kid, and I'm seeing some rubber banding issues, but I was always taught as a kid, you don't talk to strangers. Right? So, how am I supposed to do the whole looking for... And that's the other thing. They don't have, like, you are randomly assigned a group based on your, like, profession and stuff like that. And they don't tell you, oh, you're entering a group instance. It's literally, oh, if you accept this mission, it's a TFO. Hope you like playing with people. Right? So, again, it's just one of those weird things. And it's one of those pet peeves of mine where, you know, they better let you complete every mission on your own, unless it's like dungeons and stuff. But one of my biggest issues with, say, World of Warcraft is I get a mission for a little raptor pet, right? I raise it, I feed it, I have several missions revolving around this raptor pet. Then, this troll guy shows up, because I'm in the jungle, and kidnaps it. The only way for me to get raptor pet back is to complete a dungeon. And it's like a level 40 dungeon, so I need to be like level 80 before or not level 80, but at least level like 50 to go through and actually complete the dungeon by myself. If I even want to, if I even can, because around that time they were changing it up so that the dungeons level with you. And I'm sitting there like, so legitimately, you get me attached to this pet. And then you tell me that since my pet got kidnapped, the only way for me to get said pet back is to do a dungeon. But it doesn't say dungeon. It says go to such and such runes and complete. Plot course. Are you not... I'm supposed to be autopiloting there. Also, and the reason I'm supposed to be autopiloting there is so that I can do this. Stations. Cannon raid, tactical team. Cannon scatter volley. Reverse shield polarity, and science team. Okay. So it's gonna be Balera, Chigaren, and Thrak. And why do they do this to me? Let's do Thrak as my second, Chigaren, and Kagan. Going too high. But yeah, it's just, to me, that's kind of a dick move type thing, because essentially what they're telling me is, unless I have friends who play this game as well, I can't actually play the game anymore. And again, it's at that point. It's legitimately just, oh, at this point in the game, it quits being something you can play, and you have to wait until either your friends get on, or putting some food in my, or, you know, you need to get friends in the first place. And I'm just sitting there like, again, I play this game because I'm a nerd. I'm an introvert. Where the hell am I supposed to be getting these quote-unquote friends from? Right? It's like, most of the people that I know either don't have the time to put into a game like this, or they simply don't want to. My fiance, who I would love to play this game with, would rather play a game like Genshin Impact, which is geared more towards her. This game is geared more towards me. It's fine. But it's also one of those things that, you know, when I'm level 40 or level 50, how am I supposed to complete the game with no friends? Excuse me. And, like, you can even look here. Yeah, so I can't join that yet. That's fine. I can join that, oddly enough. But yeah, TFOs, which are PvE multiplayer events, Now, luckily, this game has plenty of this kind of stuff that you can play. So, like, I can do this, which gets me a bunch of different stuff. I can do this. And technically, I can do these at any time that I want. So, if we get tired of the Klingon stuff, I can switch over to the new Romulus stuff, or the Borg Advance. The thing is these say that they're TFOs, which is like Task Force Online or something like that. Huh. Okay. Ooh, fluid dynamics. But yeah. And then, actually, I wonder. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book on love. Okay, hangar pets. So these are all non-combat pets, I think. Characters, yeah. Special items. Reclaim. No. Is it here? Promotion. Yes, I have a tactical escort variant. Tribbles. Items. I could get that, but that's a waste. Duty officers. So there is something that I'm supposed to get. Oh yeah, I could have any of these if I want. The Jim Hadar one is actually pretty nice, but no, I have something. Oh, full stop. Okay. Where's my outfit? Okay, so I have this. But I don't think it's available to me just yet. Because, yeah, I don't think I'm high enough level. Bundles. Usable by captains only. Okay, so I'm only a lieutenant commander. So I need to be level 20 before I can use this. Okay, where is... Go to the Alina system. Probably Alina 1. Yep, Mars, bringer of war.
There is an incoming hail from the station's commander.
On screen.
Good. More warriors to join the battle against these Starfleet thieves. This was Imperial space for centuries, until the Khitomer Accords gave it to the Federation. A mistake we have corrected, as you can see.
Okay, it appears Starfleet disagrees with your claim, Commander.
Bah! Let them whine like newborn tards. I have but one answer for them. Glorious battle! Join the fight, and we can litter the stars with the wreckage of their ships!
And see, that was actually fairly well written. Which, again, it's weird that I go back to that, but compared to the last quest line, there's not a whole lot of, like, excess stuff written in there. It's literally just, join the fight and we'll litter the stars with their wreckage. Fight well. Sorry, I forgot to read that. I get so hooked on, you know. I don't know why. I love to explain stuff and expound and all that, and it's just... It's a bad habit. I need to fix. Oh, look at that. Firing torpedoes. Wait, did I... Ooh. I just realized the person that I have as my, forward tactical officer has no torpedo effects. Which means I could put my harping torpedo on. Okay, these ships are supposed to fight the Borg, and I am wiping the floor with them. Oh yeah, also, if you're too close to exploding ships, it damages you. That's why you'll randomly see my hull drop a little bit. I tend to fight up close and personal, but that's kind of the Klingon way. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so you. I don't have that on there. Cannot be modified in combat. Okay, no longer in combat. Harping torpedo launcher. Good, good. What's this? Is that nothing? That was nothing. Okay. So now you get to see the effect that this torpedo does. And I am happy. See, I put the person there so that I could use the torpedo. I completely forgot that I did it that way. Alright, just need... firing harping torpedo. Now the torpedo cannot be used for about another 8 seconds. But see that explosion? And notice it damaged the ships around it a little bit? There we go. And that makes it one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Ah. And I mean, 15 seconds isn't that bad. But yeah, if we wanted to, like, it's got 5 seconds left on it. So 4, 3, where it's at about 30%, drops down to 25. So that's at least 5% of the hull right there gone.
Disable it. There may be valuable command data on board.
Yes. I want to know what kind of ship that is. Because that looks cool. Beam over security teams. Or actually, I think security teams are, yeah, okay. Haha, I will return the favor. And harping torpedo.
Starfleet vessel is dead in space.
And that is why the Klingons are so feared. Yeah, what? I love the red neon effect on that ship.
They are disabled and at our mercy. Now is the time to strike. Let us board the vessel and seize anything useful while we can.
Agreed. I will lead the boarding party myself.
I hope you are ready for a fight. Despite what you may have heard, most Starfleet are not cowardly weaklings. They will defend their vessel like warriors born.
And again, that's one of the reasons why, like, Klingons often have high praise for the Federation officers. They like humans. And that's one of the reasons I think if we met the Klingons first, which is also more like, it would make more sense timeline-wise and stuff. Honestly, I think the humans combined with the Klingons would become an unstoppable force in the universe. Because they could easily conquer the Vulcans. They could... And after that, they could go after the Romulans and some of the other races. Honestly, a Klingon-human federation would be unstoppable. And I find it kind of sad that because... Gene Roddenberry wanted a futuristic mankind that was essentially perfect, like a utopia fantasy. He decided to go with the Vulcans instead. People who repress their emotions, who use logic above all else, who honestly hold themselves back, and in turn hold back whoever they're allied with. Because you gotta think about it. Vulcans taught humans the science to progress to the point where they are. Human scientists tend to push boundaries. Vulcan scientists tend to be, because they're more logical, more cool, more calculating, and don't have the same passion, they don't tend to push as hard. And that's one of the reasons in the original story, or in the original series, honestly, Spock, who was a Vulcan, or half Vulcan, continued to become more human throughout the series because he saw the strengths that humans carried. Emotions that would cripple him, humans shrugged off every day. Ideas that would have never occurred to him because logic says, oh, it would never work, humans were pulling off like it was nothing. And he realized that being a Vulcan and the Vulcan way of holding themselves back was literally holding themselves back. Also, I still think it would be funny to have a TV series, and this is what Star Trek Discovery should have been. If they wanted a new, fresh series, they should have done it from the viewpoint of a Klingon raider and a human who either gets captured and ends up joining the crew, or who joins the crew because he doesn't want to be a member of Starfleet, but still wants to be in space. Because, like, here you see a lot of how the humans and the Klingons kind of interact. And honestly, it would be hilarious. Because you would have this Klingon, like, acting all tough, and then you could have this kind of scrawny-looking human compared to the Klingon just clock him. And, like, the Klingon doesn't have to faint or anything like that. Just have him give the human, like, the deadliest stare. The human kind of looking like he's a little bit concerned. And then the Klingon starts laughing and he's like, I like you. You know? It's classic. It's been done before, but it works. It's the classic barbarian meets civilized person, and then they mesh because it's part of, you know, being human is being slightly barbaric. That's the whole reason we still need, like, the death penalty and stuff like that, is because humans, no matter how far we progress as a society, and I'm not going to say evolution, because personally I don't hold much stock in that. We don't see it happening, so take that as you will. But say hello to my puppy. But yeah, it's one of those things, you don't see it happening very often. So, but yeah, it's just, no matter how much we progress as a society, we're still going to need it's always going to be there. We're always going to have our barbaric nature. And
if you're going to kill me, get it over with. If you're waiting for me to beg for my life, not going to happen.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's going to be a part of us no matter how far we advance. So, why not embrace it? Again, denying, according to all science, even evolution and stuff like that, the whole reason humans are at the peak on this planet is because of our predatory nature. So why deny it? it's what made us what we are, according to even their logic. So, again, and you kind of see it in society. I mean, look at how much humans advanced over the course of like 500 years or so, you know, or even just 200 years. Look at how far we advanced from the colonial days to now, which is like almost 200 to 300 years. Yes, I'm giving it 100 years difference because it could be, when you actually look at it, it's like, as far as technological advancement, we stay pretty stagnant for several years and then continue on. But then you look at like recent years where the claim is, since we have quote unquote evolved as a society and become more civilized, we don't need our barbaric nature. We don't need to do things like eating meat. We don't need to hunt. We don't need to blah 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 blah. You look at that and you look at how much society has stagnated. I mean, it's gotten to the point where we are making up problems, like societal problems, just so that we have something interesting to talk about. You have the warrior spirit, Captain.
What's the Klingon saying? Better to die on our feet than live on our knees. That works for us too, you know.
And again, that's actually a human saying too. What is it? I can't remember quite where it's from. I think it was coined around the time of World War II, because we got a lot of good sayings from that, like better dead than red. You know, those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. All kinds of stuff like that. Which actually, that one might also be earlier. Like, I don't want to say Sun Tzu, but he did a lot of sayings like that. Answer my questions, and you will die with honor, Captain.
He's stalling, buying time for his security teams to storm the bridge. The turbo lifts approach as we speak. Guard the entrances while I extract intelligence data from their computers.
Prepare for battle, Kapla. And let's see, they should be here in a moment. Ah, there you are. Wait, why are we not attacking his ready room? Die. But, yeah, it's little things that you notice like that. Like, and I mean, and we've seen a rise in mental health issues and stuff because of it in recent years, too. Or at least it's probably one of the leading factors to it, because, you know, they say you shouldn't deny yourself stuff like that, and yet here they are telling us to deny ourselves stuff like that. Okay, you're dead, I believe. See, how is it I can shoot him from across the room, and yet other times I just can't? Ooh, science stuff.
My invasion of their computer systems has been very successful. I have found security command codes and transponder IDs for the Sol system.
The very heart of the Federation.
Indeed. We can do glorious deeds with this information. Deeds worthy of song and memory. Come, let us return to the ship. There is no glory to be found in a Starfleet brig.
Return to your ship. Alright.
Starfleet vessel is too heavily damaged to be of any more use to the Empire.
Indeed.
Your orders? Do you wish to scuttle it, or leave its warriors to fend for themselves?
So let's see. This one I'm actually a little bit torn about. I usually go with killing them, because dying in space is a horrible way to go. Like, literally on a ship that size, they would begin to, if it's not repaired or captured, the crew would eat each other. Literally, you have a complement of like 1,000 people on that cruiser, at least. Even more if you actually like look at the lore and stuff. Which, yeah, it's just a horrible way to go. But if I leave them to fend for themselves, they might get it repaired and be able to limp back to Earth space dock. So that's one of the weird ones where it's like, do I give them a fighting chance or do I give them a merciful death? And I think because this one's on stream, I'll give them I'll give them a fighting chance. But again, oftentimes it's actually better just to end it than leave them there because they're going to start dying of hypothermia. They're going to freeze to death, essentially. They'll die of starvation because their replicators don't work, which means they have no food, which again will lead to some of them eating each other. That's always how it goes. And then there's the fact that they will literally die where nobody can hear them. But
opportunities like this do not present themselves often. I suggest we contact the High Council and discuss the best course of action.
Agreed. Open the secure channel.
Very well. I have Chancellor Jempok standing by.
I love how... So this is one of the most ridiculous parts of sci-fi in general. Why are we talking to the Chancellor himself? Why are we not talking to an attaché, or better yet, a defense commander? We are literally talking to the head of the Klingon Empire, but not like a lieutenant, a admiral or anything like that. We are talking to the guy who literally makes all of the decisions. It's kind of weird when you think about it. This is essentially like me calling Congress and getting, the Speaker of the House or, or any of the congressional members or even the President. It's, oh, let's talk to the Council. Oh, hello, Mr. President. Should we go and take this course of action?
You have done well today, warriors. Such boldness should be rewarded. Though an assault on Earth would be glorious, I believe there is a greater chance for success in attacking a critical Federation war asset, the Utopia Planitia shipyards.
Okay, continue.
Utopia Planitia is Starfleet's main ship repair and construction facility. Any lasting damage there could hinder the Federation war effort greatly. Yes, that will be your target. It is only fitting that you will find glory at a planet named for a god of war.
Indeed, Chancellor.
You must act quickly. It will not be long before Starfleet learns of your success and what you have taken from them. If there are warriors eager to seek glory with you there, lead them to Mars for the Empire. Fight well. Fight with honor. Qapla'.
We
Continue.
should approach the starbase. Some of the warriors there may wish to join us in battle once more.
So originally, and when I say originally, I mean like years ago, this mission had a different name and a couple different things inside of it. This is a replacement mission, but it was originally called Second Star to the Right and Onward Until Morning. If that sounds familiar, that is the instructions on how to get to Neverland from Peter Pan. Also, I'm fat-tonguing a bunch of stuff. Stop it.
It is an honor to heed your call to battle. We answer it gladly. Soon, Starfleet will pay the price for defying the immortal Empire. It will be glorious!
So, this guy's voice. Why does he sound like a teenager that's trying to sound tough? And I get it, you want to get as many voice actors as possible, but one of the things about the Klingons in the TV series is they always had a unique kind of speech pattern, and part of that was they would put prosthetic teeth in that the actors had to speak around, and that's where you get that kind of rough and gravelly voice that sounds a little bit halting that you always hear them use. It's because they were literally talking through their teeth. This guy is an alien. Why does he sound like a teenage human? Right? There's tricks and stuff that will make him sound different. And different enough to be a believable alien. Right now, his voice is a little bit jarring because you see the alien and you're expecting something like, well, like, a Klingon. Welcome to Pente. And stuff like that. And instead, you get, Eric from PE. Continue.
All ships have reported in. They are ready for combat. We leave for battle at your command!
Continue.
Strike this deep into Federation space has not happened in many years. If we succeed, our names will be remembered for eternity. Tamidun Bamidun.
Man. Which, if I recall correctly, Tamedun Bamedun is a joke battle cry. I'm not exactly sure of the translation, but it appears once in, I think, the Next Generation, or in, it might appear in the original series. It's one of those two, because, those were the first two actual Star Trek series. But it is one of their, like, every now and again, to break up the seriousness or, the ethical questions and stuff like that, they'd have joke episodes. And a lot of those joke episodes do revolve around Klingons. Which, again, makes a little bit of sense. The Klingons have the best chemistry with humans, especially when it comes to comedic effects. Because it's hard. The best way to describe it is in a Japanese comedy skit. Japanese comedies have what's called the straight man and the fool. And it's a lot like Abbott and Costello, where one guy is completely serious while delivering his lines, and the other person is what turns it into a joke. That is humans and Klingons. Humans are the straight men in this case, the civilized person, whereas the Klingons are the ones that, like, devour an entire turkey in one sitting. Food flying everywhere, Luffy style, that kind of thing. And the humans look disturbed. Well, it doesn't work, or the comedy doesn't quite work, if the human, who is a straight man in this universe, and the Vulcans, which are a straighter man in this universe, are trying to play off of each other. Now, okay, the only time that's actually worked in the series would be Spock and Kirk, but later in the series where Spock is acting more human, and the comedy comes from him acting human instead of Vulcan. So, I mean, and again, that's just how it works. So let's warp to Mars. And I'm sorry, I go off on tangents when I'm explaining stuff like that. It's because I enjoy this kind of stuff. I learn a lot about it.
There it is. Mars. A harsh, scarred world. The humans named it well. We won't have time to destroy the main shipyard, but we can do considerable damage to their repair facilities.
Oh, look, you can see the Martian colonies down there. Like, you see that? Those are biodomes and roads and stuff. Cool. No face, though. Huh. Okay. We'll have to deal with those Starfleet vessels.
Agreed. Fortunately for us, the entire Third Fleet is not present. That is a battle only a fool would seek. It would be glorious for Starfleet. No, the token force in the system will fight well, but we have the element of surprise. And we are Klingons. Victory will be ours.
Indeed.
We will also need to disable local communications. I can use the command codes we seized in battle to achieve this, but we must do it quickly. Wait too long, and every Starfleet ship in the quadrant will be summoned to aid their comrades.
Understood. Okay, now we go and deal with these guys. Unfortunately, you do have to kill the ships, because if you have that little loading bar and you get shot, it completely resets the loading bar. So yeah, but see what I mean by a nice explosion? See, you can't actually do anything while there's ships around. Fire! But yeah, you don't want to be too fast, because forward-facing weapons, never a good thing to be too fast about. Fire! Disable communications. There we go.
This is Utopia Planitia Control. All ships, scramble for defense.
Yeah, scramble for defense.
Destroy as many as possible while they are docked.
So yeah, this is a little bit fun. Burning bridges. I mean, that's a little on the nose. All right. Now the problem is each one of these actually have their own timer. So like some of them actually get to launch before others. Firing the harping torpedo. Yeah, they're pretty much all launched now. Yes. Ooh, stealth module. Increases by, yeah. But yeah, it increases my stealth modifier when in, cloak. See, and this is why I like the Klingon ships. Look at that fire rate. That is just... Oh, little torpedo spread. Oh, new, bridge officer. I'll probably just use them to make a training manual or something. There you are. Bridge crew, which increases my shield somehow. So that's actually kind of interesting. Oh, they've got me. And this is what I love about the Klingons, so just listen to this reply. Probably reconfigured a deflector array in a new and devious way.
Needless to say, every ship in the sector is coming here at maximum warp. It is time to go. Let's regroup back in Klingon space and leave Starfleet to their ugly little red planet.
Escape from Mars. But I just love the amount of contempt they say in that. Like, just, oh, they probably...
Receiving communications that the Third Fleet arrived shortly after we warped out. Some of our ships did not escape, and warriors have been captured. Even now, the Federation is denying them a glorious death in battle. This cannot stand!
Sorry, I was leveling up. But like the amount of contempt in that reply, because one of the jokes about Star Trek is they like to use technobabble to kind of weasel their way out of corners that they get written into. Like, oh, it's a super battle cruiser that has that is so much more superior than our own ship. Well, what if we reconfigured the deflector array to create a hole in their shields and allow us to actually get our photon torpedoes through? It sounds logical and it sounds scientific, but really what they're saying is, hey, this advanced ship that has better computers, more powerful tech, more, their deflector array, which is what produces the shielding around the ship, is like 10 times better than ours. But if we take this wire, or if we send this, stream of coding to our deflector array, instead of overpowering it, what we will do is we'll open a hole in this more powerful shield than ours, which means more energy, and we will be able to attack their hull directly, not taking into account their hull should be made out of better materials, or at least thicker materials, than your ship. So hitting it isn't going to do much. Sounds like you have another plan, Kamen.
You know me well. Starfleet has been disrupted. Their focus will be on Mars and other critical targets in the Sol system. Ah, but a prison. They will not consider that a critical target. A host of bold warriors could stage a jailbreak.
Bold warriors, such as ourselves.
Indeed. The nearest Federation holding facility is in the Gamma Okana system. If we move quickly, we can liberate our captured allies and spare them eternity in the halls of Grethor.
Alter course to Gamma Okana system, which translates to third Arcana system, because it's Alpha, Beta, Gamma.
As I suspected.
Or is it Alpha, Beta,
Starfleet
Delta?
is still in disarray from our attack on Mars. The advantage is ours.
I am not Greek, but what is our next move?
We must swiftly disable the security measures around the station so we can beam aboard and stage the jailbreak.
All hands, prepare for battle. Okay, let's see. You're closest. So this is one unique thing about the Klingons. They like honor and they hate putting like knives in people's backs. They consider it dishonorable, and yet they act as ambush predators. You actually get a bonus for that decloaking move I just did. You get a like a 5% weapons boost or something like that. Now, then again, it's pretty much only used to open a battle, and after that they actually fight fairly honorably, which is interesting. Yep. I love that. I just love how powerful the bird of prey is. Alright, disabling that comm array. Disabled. There's that one. And there's that one. Disable security measures.
More Starfleet ships. Eliminate them.
But yeah, it's like a common joke, or not really a joke, but a common theme in the show is that like Starfleet and the Vulcans are like the science people, whereas the Klingons are brutish and whatnot. And I like that this series of quests kind of flips that on its head. You have the Klingon science officer that's figuring out all the tech stuff. Like, he's jamming their communications, he's, you know, later, well, you'll see in a moment, but, yeah, he's playing the part of the Vulcan or the, science officer in this mission. I just... Remind me to keep up this. Like, I'm loving being able to use my Harpang torpedo.
Our efforts have cleared a small sensor hole in the station's defenses. We can exploit this weakness and beam into the facility. My readings indicate we won't be far from the security area where our allies are being held.
Yeah, but see, he's talking about, like, a small sensor hole in their defense grid. It's like... That's always a Federation thing. It's like, oh, look, there's this slight hole in their defensive grid. We'll be able to type beam a transporter in the, or a teleporter in there, but we can only send, like, one person at a time because that's how energy distribution works. And things like that. Good. Boarding party. Prepare for combat.
Ready to transport. On your signal.
Beam down. And again, honestly, I think the best option for a game like this, rather than your character being the captain and having full control of the ship, would probably be to be a first officer that's like engineering or whatever. because the officers are actually the ones that fire the weapons, that helm the ship, and all that. The captain just gives orders. And the captain should not be beaming down onto situations like this. Now, it might be a little bit different for a Klingon captain, but this is the entire game. You captain a ship, and you're beaming down onto the planet's surface.
Several Klingon life signs. The warriors are being held in cells nearby.
We will not leave this place without them. Move out. Okay, so 7, 9, 6. Haha.
Engaging hostile.
I recognize that voice. That semi-deep woman's voice is... It sounds very similar to the original Uhura. Which, I mean... I grew up on the original series movies, not the TV series. By the time...
Intruder alert! All personnel to security stations.
Like, the TV series I grew up on was The Next Generation, TNG. And then Voyager. So, those two are my favorites. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the newer ones because they change how Starfleet works. I did enjoy, oh, what was it? Enterprise? I think was the one with Captain Jonathan Archer. But, yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, Discovery. Because in Discovery, none of the Starfleet officers actually act like Starfleet officers. They don't act like trained soldiers. They act like kids. They're like poking jabs at each other and...
Main controls are locked. There are secondary consoles at either side of this cell block. We can use them to override the security fields there.
Understood. Awesome. My voice is getting scratchy. I think I've been talking too much. I know, right? Bad thing for a streamer to have. But...
I will not die caged like a Hadebach. I will die a warrior's death.
Indeed. But, yeah, it's just... So, when I was younger, I contract whooping cough.
Starfleet! Come and see our true warrior fight!
Our actions and created a scattering field to stop us from beaming out.
We need a new escape plan now.
Not far from here. Turret is blocked by a security. Seize a control station so we can drop that field. At that point, we can use the cargo transporter to escape.
Cunning as always, Command. Let's go. And again, here they're poking fun at Starfleet. Because again, this is always an idea that Starfleet would use against the Klingons. Because he's saying, like, he's sitting there, oh, we'll just steal their cargo transporter, which isn't blocked off like the rest of these transporters are. How would he even know that? Oh no, I have a tribble. But yeah, they're legitimately poking fun at the way Starfleet and stuff usually goes, and I'm loving it. Because this is what you want to see from the Klingons. Them being smart, them being, like, the feared warriors they're supposed to be in the galaxy. Why was that the phaser? Like, nobody I have has phasers. Seven. Ah, man. They're... So unfortunately, if they're to the side or behind you, they get flanking damage, which is an increase to shield penetration. That's why you'll see me just randomly begin to die so quickly. It's that shield penetration that they get. Wait, was that supposed to be... There is nobody who looks like that lady in pink in my entire group. Where the heck did she come from, and why was she not taking damage? Maybe she was a Q attempting to help.
Not this time, Starfleet. Not this time. Ha! It is done. The field is down, and the path to the cargo transporter is clear.
Well done. Follow me, warriors. Also, I love how he's taking credit for what I just did. Like, they didn't animate him running up to the console to turn it off. I ran up to the console and turned it off. And it's weird little things like that that kind of make me laugh, but also makes me go from somebody who tends to hold high standards for certain things. It kind of hurts. And here's the thing. You can have high standards and still find stuff like that funny. It's just, it's not, or it still kind of hurts you on like a spiritual level. Seven. Where's my dog? Oh, there she is again. Who are you? Okay, you're an Orion. Why are you the only one in the pink suit? Like, there's so many questions here. Who is she? Why is she randomly here? Where did she come from? Also, did my group multiply somehow? Okay.
Miserable Starfleet Takek!
What is it now, Kamen?
The Starfleet Kutan is devious, more than Feklar himself. But he will not win this time. If I narrow the annular confinement beam... Yes!
Okay, so this is what we talk about when we say Star Trek is full of techno-babble. So they use what sounds like scientific words in ways that sound like they make sense, but mean nothing. So, annular. What is annular meaning in this sense? Now, it has to pertain to energy. But it's one of those things, and one of the problems is while you're watching Star Trek, you're not going to have Google open. Just like right now, I don't have Google open, so I can't really Google what an annular confinement beam is or what annular means. But I mean, you can make educated guesses. And part of the charm of Star Trek is your brain fills in missing context. So basically, what your brain's going to latch onto is confinement beam. And your brain's going to be like, oh, so what they're doing is they're taking the transporter beam and they're finding holes in the security field and they're type beaming information through it to teleport people. But again, that's 2 out of the 3 words that is supposed to explain what's going on. Kamen, we're running out of time. Can we leave or not?
We can, but only one person at a time. Hold the line while I control the evacuation.
Prepare for battle. Quapla.
Security teams to the transporter room.
Okay, 7. And crouch. So crouching gives you a defense bonus and damage bonus.
First warrior is away.
Which I think I mentioned before. not entirely sure. Again, this is a lot of like information to keep talking about while talking about other information.
Third warrior away.
And again, part of streaming, which I believe, again, I mentioned before, is repeating yourself so that when people pop into stream, they kind of know what's going on. If that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. It does. I tend to use, oh man, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're basically placeholder words to make sure that people are following along with what I'm saying. So, like, I'll use words like, you know, things like that. Things that other... this is gonna suck. There we go. So, call for help. And this should attract... There we go. He's gonna come and revive my character.
All warriors have been evacuated. Prisoners have been evacuated. We have managed to foil our personal Starfleet Fecklars. We can all beam out now.
Beam out. So, Feckler is basically the Klingon devil. He's master of trickery and stuff like that.
Enemy ships have arrived, led by the USS Challenger. This may be a battle we cannot win, my friend.
It seems that Starfleet wants a word on screen.
This is Captain LaForge of the USS Challenger. We'll be making our stand here, and we will hold the line.
I do not fear your famous name or your vessel. Try to die well, Starfleet. Also, reading Rainbow. No, that was... See, that was back during a time when actors were beloved because after they would become a big name, like this guy... Oh, what is his name? So after Geordi LaForge, is what I'm going to call him, Geordi, became famous on Star Trek. He went on to, like, do public access television. And primarily we know him from the show Reading Rainbow. Which was a show all about, well, reading. The joy of reading, you know, things like that. Like, every episode was a different book and stuff like that. It was a kid's show, but it was an educational one. Now, nowadays, people feel like, or particularly Hollywood people, feel like by virtue of being in Hollywood, they should be beloved and should have some form of authority. That's not how it works. The actor that plays Geordi LaForge, which I want to say his name was LeBron, but I might be confusing him with a actor or an actor slash sports star that's in a lot of hot water. I think his name was LeBron though, but again, he was beloved not just because he was a good actor on Star Trek: The Next Generation, portraying an actual like blind guy who could only see because of a visor that was implanted, that could hooked up to implants in his brain. But he also did stuff like Reading Rainbow. He did educational TV that was meant to help kids. And that's why people liked him and would often listen to, like... I think he was one of the big guys who did the Concrete Angel stuff, which is kind of backfiring. It's all about child abuse and stuff like that, but it gave the government way too much authority in removing kids from homes. But, yeah, it's just... there's stuff like that.
All ships, this is LaForge. Fire at will.
To battle for the Empire, Quapla. Ooh. I'm going right after the Challenger, huh? Oh, come on. Of course it did. I will once I'm done shooting these Federation targs. Oh yeah, and I suppose I should say, for my viewers that are American, I understand that you know a lot of this stuff already. The thing is I have people from, say, the UK, Canada, you know, I have people as far out as South Korea that watch this after I'm done streaming it. So it's one of those things where, while yes, I'm talking to you, it's also I'm talking to them. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually have more people from like the UK and South Korea that actually watch this, because in total, on average, this is going to get about 12 views. I know for a fact about 4 of those people are Americans, or at least on the North American continent. So that's, you know, of course, the United States and, or United States of America, USA, and Canada. So there's at least 4 of you that are within that group. But everybody else is at least, they're from overseas. They're at least, like, there's one person who's Filipino, there's one person who's South Korean, there's 2 British, a German, and I'm not going to say as by name, but yeah, I have a lot of overseas viewers, which it's kind of funny. But it's just like Jacksepticeye, who lives he currently lives in the UK, so Britain, that kind of stuff. I think he actually lives in the greater British metropolitan area. But, well, London, I think. I think he lives in London currently. But, like, I watch him. Yeah, exactly. Briga 4221. Also, hi! The United States from the middle of North America and Alaska and Hawaii. Yeah, exactly. I know I have one guy who's, like, over in Florida who watches me, and then I know for a fact there's a Canadian that watches me, and sometimes. And then, I don't know if there's anybody from Alaska that watches me, because I think out of my friend group, I'm the only one that's even been to Alaska. I was born there, which, you know, I'm very proud of. I love being Alaskan native. But yeah. So, here to watch some Star Trek, huh? Alright, let's depart the system. But yeah, so I tend to kind of cover a little bit of politics. I know a lot of people come to, like, Twitch to escape it. So I try not to talk about it too much, but I do tend to touch on subjects. Especially if it's relevant to, like, what's going on in the game currently. Like, earlier we were dealing with a traitorous house, or great house, right? They were assassinating people. They were, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. So it kind of led into the current court case thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. If you've been paying attention to that, and a little bit about how, you know, and then I went through, like, some of the stuff that happened during that event that's not necessarily being reported on, like, CNN and stuff, because they only show, like, 30 seconds of a, 2 to 3 minute video. that kind of thing. But yeah, just little things like that. But welcome to the stream. I'm, you know, like I said, I have people from all over the world that watch, so say hi to them. Usually, my viewers pop in after I'm done streaming and watch it like a couple hours from now. But yeah, fun. All right. Uh, let's see, Lieutenant Stas. Greetings, and sometimes I flub my words. Greetings, Lieutenant Commander. I've heard of your recent accomplishments and would like to congratulate you. Your strength is an example throughout the Empire. I have some Becks I would like to assign to your command. Come see me at the academy when you have an opportunity. Oh, this is my duty officers. Okay. No, this is my. I've actually had quite a few. It's one of my most recent characters, coming back after they updated a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like I've gone back. Okay, bridge officer requisition. Orion engineering. Have fun. Yeah. Oh, it's always fun to come back and see like what updates and stuff they've done. Like I just did the Mars one where they changed it from an assault on Earth space dock, which they had up until I think last season, which was the Peter Pan reference mission. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's get you. Collect that. Okay, not now. Oh, I don't even have to go and talk to him. Okay, your initial complement of DD officers is now available. Cool. That's a lot of people.
Word of our success is spreading throughout the Empire and the Federation. We have inspired our fellow warriors and given pause for thought to our enemy. It was a good day, my friend. A glorious day. You have proven yourself to be a warrior of singular quality. Know that I may call on you again when the Empire has need of such a warrior. Until that day, fight well and with honor. Gopla!
Collect reward.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Okay. But yeah, I'm just going through the missions for the Klingon Empire, of course.
One of the vessels that took part in the raid on Utopia Planitia has gone missing in the Orith system, in Romulan space. We received a brief burst from the ship's emergency transponder, but then it went silent. If this was a Romulan attack, we may have a new enemy to face in this war. Command has ordered us to go to the last known location of the ship. Once there, we are to find the missing vessel and recover the critical data, if possible.
Alright. So, the Hirogen Tetrion blast rifle is actually pretty nice. And then the Klingon Intelligence Stealth Utility armor looks pretty good too. Might actually go with that.
Everything we do is for the...
Okay. Then again, I'm getting this, which is better. Okay. So yeah, this one's actually better than the other stuff that I have, so... Or than that I'd be getting. Because the other one, everything was resistance like 19. This one's all resistance 25. Or so. Alright, let's see. Kit, modular diagnostic, Mark IV. Let's see, what are you? Engineering kit. Okay, so that's that. I believe that. Yeah, okay. It ups your armor basically. Okay, let's see. So you're getting the Mark III armor. you got Mark II already. You don't have armor, so you're gonna get that Mark II. And then you're getting this Mark II. Now let's see. Alright. Already got tier 2 shields. Tier 2 shields. Let's see. Is that a better... Nope. Okay. Now, transwarp time. Let's do the transwarp again. But, yeah. So... Oh, they left. Okay. Begin alpha. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I should have upped my, or did my level up. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, one part of it is, like, you just saw that somebody popped in, right? To my chat. They were only here for a little bit, and then they left. They said their piece, and, you know, said have fun. No weapon energy. See, but again, that's the kind of person that why you repeat what you're saying again and again.
We have arrived in the Orith system. The bird of prey may be in orbit, obscured by the planet itself. It may have crashed on the planet or been destroyed here in space. It is time to begin the hunt. Ready to begin a sensor sweep on your command.
Okay, let's see. Improved energy weapons. Okay. Okay, good. Begin your scans, come in. But yeah, he was talking about this stuff down here. Like, he was asking why I didn't have my weapons on 100%. Normally, I keep my shielding on 100%, because, you know, as a Klingon, you already do a lot of damage. But the thing is you don't want them to do the same amount of damage to you. So, because there is no way to make people miss in this game. So again, notice no whisper. Randomly, I just get an invite to a fleet. There's nobody in my chat asking me to join them. Oh, I still have another space point. Okay. So there's nobody in my chat. There's nobody in this chat. And I just... Fourth House of Army of Freedom has invited me to join their fleet. Again, don't do this, because when this screen is up, you'll notice that is right in line with some of these other buttons. Notice how close it is to my prompt. Again, I don't mind fleet invites, but you don't go doing that.
There's too much radiation from Orith Prime. It's scrambling the sensor signals. We should narrow down the search area with more intensive scans of key areas. That small ion nebula is a good place to start.
Helm, set course for this ion nebula. But yeah, it's one of those things. That is very predatory behavior, because if you're not paying attention, you're going to click on accept. And you're going to end up in a fleet. And the thing about fleets in this game is, in order to progress your fleet, you have to give them stuff. And sometimes, like, getting out of a fleet is pretty hard in this game. Okay. The ionic radiation is reducing our sensor range, attempting to compensate.
Your officers are skilled, my friend. We now have a detailed scan of the Ion Nebula. There is a cluster of debris behind the larger asteroid. Metallic content is consistent with a ship. That may be what remains of our missing vessel. If so, there could be something left to salvage in the wreckage.
Okay, let's find out. I just realized I have brace for impact. That's good. Very powerful. Notice it gives you 45 hit points per second and plus 100 kinetic and torpedo resistance. That could come in clutch. Oh wait, it's way over here. I don't get why they do that. That should have been what we're looking for, and then this should be the next one. Although they would need to flip the steps, but yeah. Oh. Need to recalibrate the sensors to compensate for the level of debris here. Calibrate sensors. Up. Turrets. Ah, so slow. That turret has shielding. There we go. But see how fast those turrets brought down my shields?
Pirates have been ambushing ships in this system with traps like this for some time now. Crude, but effective. Many a freighter captain came through here trying to avoid inspections, only to meet a cold and brutal end.
Any signs of our missing vessel?
Sensors are picking up Romulan and Nausicaan alloys within the debris field, but nothing from a Klingon vessel. I'm reading an interesting radiation anomaly nearby. I think we should investigate it.
Very well. Helm, take us to this anomaly of commends. Again, just flubbing my words. This is why I'm not a professional voice actor. Because, honestly, my speaking skills kinda suck. I forget words that I'm trying to use. My vocabulary is a little bit higher than where a lot of people's are, which can sometimes be a hindrance because I might say something that other people just don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's some of those kind of things. Alright.
This is pirate space, and we answer to no one. Leave or die.
Uh-oh, siphon drone. That's the other thing, is like I'm also missing a lot of hotkeys, I guess. Because there should be a way to target like the drones and stuff without having to click on them. And I just don't know it. Oh, he's dead. Look at the size of that ship.
We will never surrender.
What is Garumba? That's what I want to know. Yeah, but look at how fast that drained my shields. And now we're raced for impact, so... Take that. Thank you. Take that. Ooh, resilient shield array.
Nausicaan pirates. They must see the Romulans as easy targets. It is possible they attacked our missing vessel as well, despite the alliance between the Nausicans and the Empire.
If so, they paid the price for their treachery.
Indeed. They should have known better than to challenge a Klingon. Wait. Reading an energy signature on the surface of Orith 2. It corresponds to that of a warp core.
One of ours?
Indeed. And of the size and class used in a bird of prey. We need to get down there and investigate. There could be survivors.
Helm, take us into orbit over Orith 2.
Standard orbit established. We are in transporter range. Away team is standing by in transporter room 1.
Okay, just let me do this. Replace that. Nice. This is a new warp core. Hyper injection warp core Mark 4. 5 additional bonus power. 5 engine power. Increase maximum. Okay. That should be better than what I currently have. And a new engine. Okay. Point. Turn. Plus weapon power. Plus 0 shield. Okay. So that's actually a good reason to go over to max weapon power. Ooh, new shield. Okay. Already better. Okay. So yeah, I'm just looking at the different stats on the stuff to make sure I'm getting the biggest bang for my buck. Alright, and you are stealth module. Honestly, shield regeneration sounds a lot better. Not gonna lie. Okay. Now beam down. Of course. But yeah, if you get enough weapons power, I mean, you can do some pretty decent damage. But again, the problem is like, there are effects that are designed to disable your weapons. Just like there's effects that are designed to disable your shields. And honestly, I prefer survivability. Although, and I'm an engineering captain, so all of my abilities go into like recalibrating my shields, restoring whole hit points and stuff. If I was a science captain, I think I would need more whatchamacallit, more stuff for like more actual shield stuff, because I'm all about draining and stuff like that.
Detecting bands of Vistrium in the rock formations here.
Oh.
It scatters transporter signals, so this is as close as we can get to the bird of prey safely. We should make our way to high ground and get an overview of the area. Then we can plan how to proceed to the crash site.
Continue. Okay. Let's see. Remove that. So let's go ahead and summon my dog.
What's this? My tricorder's range has been reduced by more than 60%. The Vistrium and trace amounts of Kelvinite could account for some of that. But no, there's something else. I think we're dealing with a jammer of some sort. Run a scan and confirm my readings.
Very well. Scanning now. Scan for energy readings.
There. Do you see it?
Looks like a low-level duonetic field. That's not even a real scientific term, but essentially what it's saying, or what they're trying to say, is a dual magnetic field. So you have one field reacting at one frequency, like say 30 hertz, and you have another one reacting at, say, 20 hertz or 40 hertz, depending on what you want. And hertz measure wavelength. So when you're talking about two magnetic fields operating on wavelengths that are um, different, what happens is one wavelength as it's going up will have another wavelength going down, blocking both essentially, or reacting with each other to create one solid wavelength. Almost like it's almost like taking a wave and turning it into a beam.
Exactly. And naturally occurring duonetic fields would not be so constant in effect. This field is artificially generated. I'm sure of it. Be advised, that field will make using transporters difficult. I believe our weapons will still work, however.
Understood. Remain vigilant. I do not think we are alone here. So what he just said, essentially, is the field is too...
As I suspected, the field is making it difficult to maintain a sensor lock. Won't be safe to beam out of here without using a pattern enhancer.
We will set one up then. I do not want to be trapped here. So, essentially what he was saying was, if it was a natural field, it would be fluctuating a lot more. Like you'd go from 60 hertz to 70 hertz to 50 hertz to, because basically environmental factors would have a heavy effect on it. But since we're seeing a constant like 60 hertz with no fluctuation, it has to be being emitted by something, because that's how radio technology works, or electromagnetic technology works. Place the pattern enhancer.
Picking up some energy readings to the south. The jungle is dense. Many life signs. Exercise caution. Dangers are hidden here.
Aye.
We are not alone. The rocks here form natural valleys and causeways. If we head to the low ground and follow the valleys, we should be able to reach the crash site.
Let's get down from here and push through this jungle. So, that kind of stuff I do like in writing, because what he just explained was a reason for us to have a limited amount of space to work in. Because, like he said, there's natural causeways and valleys that we can walk through. So essentially, it's really hilly here and a lot of vegetation, but there's these clear paths because that's just the way it formed naturally. Instead of, oh, well, level design states that you go this way for no other reason than you're going this way. Now, interestingly enough, and this is the science fiction buff in me, so I understand a certain point aspects of theoretical physics. I am not myself a physicist. I am a janitor. I clean things for a living. But the pattern enhancers are a unique piece of technology primarily to Star Trek. And what they do is they interact with your comm badge, and it sends a stronger biometric signature to your teleporters. So what happens with teleportation is you're deconstructed by molecularly. Your pattern or your structure is saved in the teleportation buffer, or the teleporter buffer, which you'll hear them mention every now and again. And then you're reconstituted in another location based off of that pattern. The enhancers make it where your pattern can make it through intense energy fields. Now, there are certain fields that teleporters just don't work through, but the patterns primarily are designed to help with that. They boost your pattern, as it says. It's just, it's one of those things where, again, it's sci-fi babble. It is interesting. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't follow me all the time. And worms. I hate that they slow me. Ravishing toxic spit. Okay, so there's gonna be one popping up right here. Or soon. See? And I'm slowed again. Because that's a thing that happens. Okay, and up front here, I think there's some kind of cat?
I thought I saw something moving. We should scan the area again.
Scan for motion.
This planet is playing tricks on me. There's nothing there.
You say that, but I was only scanning for motion. If it was motionless, I wouldn't see it. Okay. Oh look, it was standing motionless, so I didn't see it. And this is one of the reasons I don't believe it when people say that Star Trek has the better technology between Star Trek and Star Wars. Yes, their scanners are pretty powerful, but they can only scan for one thing at a time. Like, legitimately, I can scan for motion or I can scan for energy. I have to calibrate between the two. So, advanced in the fact that I can even do that, but in Star Trek they can do, or in Star Wars they can do that too. Right? Oh look, it's a big alphasaur. What is this? Welcome to the jungle. This just has me going around in a circle, doesn't it? Yep. Alright.
Should get our weapons ready.
Weapons are ready. But yeah, it's interesting how the tech and stuff is supposed to work, cause yeah, that's the area I was just in, right? Yep. Okay. Let's continue on. Cause again, it's like, oh yeah, we have all this high-tech stuff, but the way it works isn't very high-tech. It's very analog. Almost like decaying Nausicaan corpse. Okay. They killed him so fast. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to switch between the two instead of it actually just looking for the two. You know, it's blocked by simple magnetics. Like, the best part about Star Trek is the terminology has not upgraded between the original series and Next Generation. But the technology had, oddly, in the last series, like, Discovery, has. Because they now have the Spore Drive, which, by spinning and using a giant tardigrade, they can teleport the ship.
The bird of prey. Recommend we run a baseline scan before we proceed. I do not like surprises. There have been too many of them here already.
Agreed. Scanning now. But, like, by spinning the ship, they can teleport through space to space mushrooms because of a alien beast that they have. Yet, you do not see that in any other ship. Think about that. So, Captain Kirk's ship came after Discovery. So the new series, if they were just rebooting, the new series should have that.
Those might be life signs, but the radiation from the ship's reactor is fouling up my tricorder. We can't rely on our instruments here. Visual recon is our next option.
Very well. Stay alert. Let's move out. But yeah, it's like, okay. So the Klingons are still using the same kinds of ships. The Federation is using the same kind of ships. But what was that? Oh well. But according to the latest TV series, the Federation should have far more advanced ships. Again, they have a special spinning move that allows them to teleport through space to mushrooms that are everywhere. And they can do short-range warp jumps by using this spinny ship. And I hear, oh, well, it makes sense because it's a tardigrade and blah, blah. No. What doesn't make sense, and what makes a lot of the original series fans and the Next Generation fans and the Voyager fans angry, is Star Trek Discovery takes place in the past and now the future. They don't act like Starfleet officers of the past. They don't act like Kirk and his crew, unless you're talking about the teenage Kirk and his crew. Which, again, for being in a military academy, do not act like they're in the military. And then on top of it, you're introducing technology to this series that is never seen in any of the other series, and therefore cannot be considered, or makes the series you're trying to do non-canon. Because the Discovery is the only ship to ever use that kind of warp drive. But the Discovery is a ship that's... It's newer than the NX series, which was the first warp-capable ship, but it's older than the first Enterprise from the original series.
Come on. I am Katango, captain of what remains of this honored vessel.
What happened here, Captain?
Returning from a recon mission and encountered Nasakan pirates. One of them got a lucky shot and knocked our seal generator out. We were making repairs when the Hirogen attacked.
Hirogen? Here? They have come far to hunt.
Indeed. They are good at that. They jammed our transmissions and began to hunt us like animals. Shortly after, we crashed. I do not know how many of my crew remain. Several of them went into the jungle to hunt the Hirogen against my orders. Young fools. Always it is the brave ones who die.
We will search the area for your crew, Captain. But yeah, it's always interesting how this works. Look for life signs.
This warrior survived the crash. A very sharp blade killed them, expertly wielded. By tracing the blood trail back to its source, I found a second drag path and 2 sets of footprints. I believe this warrior died trying to defend someone else. Someone who was then taken.
Then perhaps they can be found and liberated. Oh, shoot the worm. Alright. Look for life signs.
A Romulan. Not terribly unexpected, considering where we are. But I do wonder why a Romulan is in the company of Klingon warriors. Keep him close for now. We can interrogate him later. Once we don't have to worry about the Hirogen putting their blades in our backs.
Watch him closely. We have enough to worry about as it is. By the way, Hirogen, introduced in Star Trek Voyager, one of their primary... They're essentially predators from, like, the actual, like, movie Predator. You know, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and then whoever else. Essentially, they love hunting. They have tech that allows them to go invisible. And they're stronger and smarter and clever. I won't say smarter, cleverer than average. So, like, in one episode, they took over Voyager and they started putting hologram projectors all throughout the corridors to create a giant hunting field. And they chose World War II as the hologram that they were hunting in. So they were legitimately, you know, acting at... They took the part of the Nazis. The crew, of course, took the part of the Allies. And the French resistance, I believe. So, yeah, it was just... It was interesting.
I'm detecting level 3 radiation burns and severe heat damage. This warrior must have been very close to a power conduit when it exploded.
Not how I would wish to die. Oh yeah, like that is just horrible. That is a horrible way to go.
I'm detecting electrical burns and plasma damage, along with pieces of shrapnel that could have come from an exploding console. This warrior died with honor. There's nothing that indicates they left their post.
To die in the line of duty is the hope of every Klingon. Also, circuit breakers. Come on, people. Like, legitimately. You could run a drinking game based off of how many people die in Star Trek due to exploding consoles and get poisoning from it. It is so ridiculous. Anytime a ship is attacked, the consoles immediately start exploding on them. And it makes no sense. Because you would think they'd have circuit breakers, which means if there's a power surge going to the console from the warp core, which is in the center of the ship, the console would automatically turn off before killing somebody. We've seen consoles that have been jury-rigged just by pressing a few buttons on said console to electrocute people. It's ridiculous. And here's the worst part. We've seen consoles immediately explode on, like, the Starship Enterprise with the very first shot while their shields are up.
This warrior was killed by blunt force trauma. The wounds could have been caused by the force of the crash. If the ship's inertial dampers were offline before the ship hit the atmosphere, it is likely that many of the crew were killed this way.
Unfortunate, which is true. Basically, they were in a car crash that was amplified by like 150 times.
This warrior had many internal injuries that should have been immediately fatal. And yet, they survived for some time. And look, their disruptor was drained of power. Every shot was fired. They died in battle.
Today, there is a new warrior in Stovokor.
That's all of them. Let's go talk to Captain Katango.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just... To me, it doesn't make sense. And a lot of the Star Trek stuff doesn't make sense based off of my today logic, because they get hacked by other ships. Why would you have your communications array hooked up to your primary computer? Like, why is on every Federation vessel there no safety precautions or ability to just turn things off? Warp core overloading. Why is there no way just to flick a switch and turn it off, or press a button? The Hollow suite is acting up. Like, we've had people in the show trapped by the holograms as they turn evil or whatever. Why is there no way to just open up a panel and turn off the holo projectors? Like, just cut power to that entire room. And little things like that, it's like, well, why isn't your computer core better shielded? Or, why don't you have the ability to just turn certain things off? Why do your consoles explode? Why is this a thing? And I mean, that's not saying that it makes no sense that certain things will cause certain types of damage. It makes sense for a console to explode if, say, you're already bypassing an EPS conduit, which is like an electro... what does EPS stand for? It's like electronic circuitry process thing. It's weird. Say you're already bypassing the safety feature just to work the console. Then it makes sense that it explodes. But if your consoles are exploding the moment your ship gets hit, you have other problems. Because we've seen the entire bridge crew pretty much wiped out because everybody's consoles explode at once.
Where is the enemy? I will die as a warrior. Do not let me die like this.
Be still. I will tend to your wounds, Captain. Okay, use a hyper spray.
My strength returns. I will live to fight for the Empire. Do you hear, Hirogen cowards? Katango, son of Karok, lives on. Meet me in battle, if you have the spine for it.
And that's why I love Klingons. It's like, oh no, I'm dying. Here, you're all better. All right, let's go kill something. It is our understanding that you acquired valuable tactical data, Captain.
It is quite a prize indeed. Complete scans of the Romulan defenses and the plans for a new type of Warbird. Unfortunately, that green-blooded Patach over there detected us. Clever bastard was following in our warp trail as we left the Ratar system. Clever, but not clever enough. We detected him and disabled his shuttle.
I'm surprised you didn't just kill him.
Oh, I've considered it several times. But my senior officers convinced me that Imperial intelligence might like a word with him. So we threw him in the brig. Since then, there's been nothing but trouble. The cunning Toba managed to sabotage our computers after the crash. He'd have done more if my chief engineer hadn't introduced him to the business end of her spanner.
So that's kind of funny. But also, again, how did he sabotage your computers? Because in Star Trek, when they sabotage something, it's not like they're ripping stuff out of it, normally. Normally, the way he sabotaged things would be he runs up to the console and inputs a bunch of commands, and instantly you're locked out and stuff. And it's like this console controls the warp core, and no other console can get past it. And it's like, well, why don't you have the ability to just turn off that console and then route the warp core controls to another one? Right? How badly did he damage your computers?
They're functional, but barely. You should be able to extract what you need from them, but I would hurry before the power runs out.
Continue.
I am getting power readings from within the ship, but they are at minimal levels.
By the way,
If we can find
that's the one we're looking for.
we can use it to access the ship's data core.
Let's see what we can recover. Let's go get the hard drive, guys. Oh yeah, that's a bypass to data core.
I have the data. It's encrypted. But there will be time to deal with that later. For now, we should aid Captain Katang and any other survivors here.
Agreed. So again, this thing's completely out of the ship. How is it getting power from the ship? And yet, at the same time, did this console kill somebody? Because that would be my first question. Okay. Talk to Captain Katang.
Gabla! I'm ready to leave this wretched planet. Lead the way. I'll follow you back to the transport point.
Continue. Go to beam out site with Captain Katang. And yet he's the one taking off. Hail ship for beam out. Merciless, this is the away team. We're on our way to the transport site. Stand by. Prep for beam up. We have survivors.
Go. Catch that attack of a Romulan.
So, my question is, there's 5 of us here. 6 counting this guy, well, 7 counting this guy and the other guy. This guy here. The Romulan was next to me. Nobody managed to stop him. Including the giant lizard person. Oh, and I'm a psychic, so how on earth did he escape? And there he is. I love that he waited for me. Oh, Herogens. But see what I mean by they're basically predators? They didn't have a beam-in animation, they have a phase-in animation, which is supposed to represent their ability to cloak themselves. Which, by the way, a personal cloaking device. Why do the Klingons not have that? Klingons and Romulans have had cloaking technology for years.
Captain Katang must have had a bomb rigged to the warp core. He knew the Hirogen would return.
Good for him.
Klingon life signs up ahead. More survivors from the crash, most likely. These Hirogen have no honor. If they did, they wouldn't keep warriors caged like animals. Let us free these warriors and send them to the pattern enhancer for evacuation. Once that is done, we can return there ourselves.
Katang bought us some time. Let us make the most of it. A simple confirmation would have been better for that.
Where are the Hirogen? I will make them pay for this.
Like,
Evacuate. As you wish. Should I see a Hirogen, I may be delayed.
Honor to you and your house, warrior. You have my thanks.
I will not die in a cage, but as a warrior of the Empire. Kapla!
Where are the Hirogen? I will make them pay for this.
and there's the Romulan I'm supposed to
There's
capture.
that Romulan again. Quick, grab him.
submit to your will. Among my people, that would make you bound to protect me as you would an honored guest. So guard me now, if you are truly honorable. A large force of Hirogen are coming this way. I won't survive without your assistance.
Oh, let's take him.
It's not clear what he knows about Katang's mission, but we do know that he wanted us to capture him and escape from the Hirogen. The choice is yours. Shall we take him with us, or not?
Secure the prisoner and prepare to move out.
You won't regret this. If I ever return to my home, I will tell my people that there is at least one officer of the Empire who truly knows the meaning of the word honor. Lead the way. I will follow willingly.
Yep. Oh. Ah, darn it. Chronoton mines. And you'll see that a lot with the Hirogens, is they have special, like, I have these mines that I can lay out.
Won't give up the hunt easily. In that, they are almost Klingon. Stay on guard. There may be more traps and ambushes ahead.
We can follow that jungle path next to the hillside we came up to get here. But anyways, okay, so it's not chronotype mines, but they have well, you just saw the Tesla type mines that hold you in place. Because they are hunters. They are meant to capture you so that they can hunt you again later. But yeah, one of the things that the Hirogens love to do... great, more talking.
These scheming Patak are using me and my crewmates as bait for their traps. There is a spatial charge underneath me. This wire to explode if I move. You might be able to disarm it if you cut the right wire. Save me, or let me die with my honor intact.
Rescue the warrior. But the Hirogen capture people and bring them back to their ships because their ships and their stations are both giant hunting grounds. But other than that, they're actually quite intelligent and, you know, overall, they can be reasoned with sometimes. Normally, if you want to make peace with them, offer them something to hunt. Okay. Help injured crewman. So working, I'm looking for, cut the red wire. Where is the disarm bomb? There we go. Now I can die honorably. Yeah.
Sent the warrior to the evac site.
But essentially, they're less honorable Yacha or predators. So, like, with predators, like the Predator movie, they do love to hunt, and they only kill people who have weapons. Hirogens don't care about that. You have a weapon or not, if they deem that you could be a potential threat, they will capture you and arm you, and then kill you. But yeah, the Hirogen came in the night. They have no honor. Okay, help injured crewman. Working. Cut the green and red wire. Green, red, disarm. Okay. I hate that I only have like 6 seconds to do that. But see what I mean by the capture stuff? Ugh. Ooh, a disruptor pistol. Let's see. And it's a tier 3. Well, actually, here. 26. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, let's see. Cut the green wire. Green, disarm. Fear has no hold on me. Yep. But no, I do like the Hirojin, like armor set and stuff. Like, if I could get that for my character, I'd be happy. Infinity lockbox. Because, like, their armor's actually pretty cool, even if the Hirojin themselves are kind of ugly. Like, there's something... So, aliens in Star Trek are some of the most plain and ugly aliens there are. They are almost exclusively humanoids, and in particular, they're almost exclusively people with very bad makeup jobs. And a lot of it is just you're wrinkly, or your veins are showing. No difference between the two. It's you're wrinkly with maybe a flat nose, or your veins are showing, or you're like blue. It's really just, and I understand it. The original series was very low tech, low budget. So they didn't actually have a good way to show what they wanted to show. Again, I get that. Help injured crewmen. But, I mean, the same one, green and orange and disarm. Yes! But, like, you look at the Hirojins. Fairly cool armor. I love the look of heavy armors. Is my big thing. So I love heavy armors, which makes me like their... Oh, wow. Which makes me appreciative of their armor type. I also like face masks and stuff. That's cool. Even though I don't agree with the mask mandates and stuff. But I have an issue with the fact that the Romulans are basically just Vulcans, but they're veinier because they're angry. Or the Klingons are basically just humans, but with ridges on their foreheads. Or the Andorians are just humans, blue with antenna. Or the Orions are green humans. You know, I prefer a variety of species, like the Gorn. The Gorn are pretty cool. I like their look. I kind of wish they had a tail, but, you know. I like the Cathar and the Cretaceans, which are the blue ones, the cat people.
There you are. Let us talk of victory.
I like my aliens to be more exotic. It's one of the reasons why I have a couple issues choosing races in like Dungeons and Dragons. Because a lot of the races that I like, most DMs won't let you play. Like, I don't really like the Ganassi, but I like the Dragonborn. A lot of DMs won't actually let you play the Dragonborn. I like the lizard folk. I like the kobolds. I like the elephant people, the turtles. Again, I'm a human most of my life. In fact, I am a human all my life. Why would I want to play a human or humanoid in the game? In fact, if you notice, the reason I made the character look the way I did is because there are no snouts or anything in the game. I could be a Cretacean, a cat person, and I could be a Gorn. Those are the two big alien races that are actually alien. Everybody else, like, why would I want to be a Klingon? Why would I want to be a Vulcan? Why would I want to be... Well, I do enjoy being... Well, I don't actually play Romulans. I always go with, like, the aliens because I can make them look almost as much as I want. But, yeah, it's just one of those things.
I killed the Herodian leader in battle, and then caught most of his witness lackeys in the blast. It was glorious. Kalis himself could have done no better.
Continue.
But there is still glory to be had, brave warriors. A second Herodian Alpha still lives. He has been chasing me through the jungle. Now, we will fight together, side by side, with honor. Death to the Herodian. Kablah!
I just realized what this step is actually making fun of. Which is one of the things I like about this game, is there's a lot of puns in the actual mission titles. So, You're One Ugly is actually referencing a line from actually both the first and second Predator movies. When the Predator takes off his mask to confront Arnold because he put the dirt on him, the mud on himself that made its thermal vision not work, he's leans in close to it as it's like holding him, and he's like, "You're one ugly mutt." And he's going to say, mother effer, and it roars in his face. Like, they always cut him off before they can say it, because the original Predator movie was PG-13, I think, which back then PG-13 meant you got, or actually no, I think it was rated R, but it was rated R for violence and gore. So to make it more family friendly, which is a hilarious concept at that point, they only gave him like one actual curse word. Wait, you said you'd fight by my side. So let's see. And there's the Alpha. Now, check out this guy's armor. I love that helmet. He almost looks like a Doom guy. In all honesty.
He's hiding. Watch for his minions.
There he is. Plasma assault minigun. Ooh. Large power cell.
It has been a day of glory and of honor. Know that you are a friend to me and my house. What you have done for me and my crew, I will never forget. When we meet again, we will drink a barrel of my family's finest blood wine. Perhaps two, if we're still standing after the first. Ha!
And again, they have that dwarven mentality where they're just like, yeah, you know what, we lived, we're gonna go home and get drunk. I have the prisoner.
Truly? Good. I have so many questions for that miserable Karut. He will wish for the tender mercies of Imperial intelligence when I'm finished with him. I may let them have him. Or perhaps I will drag him by those pointed ears all the way to Rura Penthe.
Thank you for saying it correctly. Again, I don't get why it's so hard for them to... And again, I get it. I make the mistake too. It's understandable. It's a hard word to say. But I'm also not paid to say it. And I mean, that's not that hard of a concept either. It's like, it's Rura Penthe, not Ura Penthe. And especially not when I'm like, and again, I'm not one of the main guys who's supposed to be saying the word. Like, having Worf mispronounce that, it's like, did you guys get one take with him, or what? Alright, beam out.
We are cleared for transporter operations and can leave at your command.
Beam up. Ooh, I like that spinal armor. Although I'm loving my outfit, so...
This was a good victory. Though Katang's ship is a loss, he lives on, a strong warrior and hero of the Empire. He will critically reduce the supply of blood wine in the first city while he celebrates. But that is a small price to pay, I think. You and I both know we need all of the stout fighters we can get if we're to defeat the Federation. Saving warriors like Katang will help us achieve that victory. Ah, but I've chewed enough ligament here. Until we fight together once more. Serve with honor, my friend.
Collecting reward.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Okay. Nice. Sweet. You must choose all rewards. Oh, yeah. Let's go with an alien tactical officer. Collect reward. Not now. See what I mean by ugly? Okay, let's do hull restoration.
We have lost contact with a battle group in the Norg system. It could be a Starfleet assault, but that system is deep within Imperial territory. It seems unlikely that an enemy fleet would have made it that far without being detected. Not to mention any number of more critical targets along the way. Needless to say, the High Council wants answers. You and I are to conduct an investigation at once.
Alright.
The war continues, and all of our warriors are needed to fight.
Okay. Ooh. Turret fabrication. That's a good one. Okay. Let's see. Willpower removes the stun effects. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't like the using consumable devices. I hardly ever really need them. So, unlock the ability to chain, quick fix, and shield recharge. Definitely want that one. Okay. Actually, skills. So, now I want to promote some of these guys. Because they can be one level behind me. Very cold in space. Hazard. Movement debuff. Cold damage. Absolute zero. Interfering with mobility and... okay. Close doors, open windows, go to the Norg system. Alright. Let's see. To status. I don't have my cannons. Distribute shield power. Tactical team. Automatic shield distribution. Oh, that's just that stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't have my turret fabrication yet. And you can't... I can teach you, though. Shield generator. Quick fix. Okay. Harmonic lure. Ah, here we go. Requires the appropriate training manual. It says that I can teach them that, though. Okay, let's see. Stations, traits. Ah, I've unlocked one of that. Let's see. Fire and plasma damage resistance. That's actually a very good one because plasma grenades are awful. They set the area around you on fire and just... yeah. I mean, taking less damage would be nice. Outgoing shield healing, maximum shield hit points. Let's do that. Oh wait, no, let's do this one. There we go. That should be good. And I don't have any of those, so, let's see. Mutations, blah, blah, blah. There is supposed to be... Where are you guys? Let's see. Passives. Raider flanking. What's this? Grants a moderate boost when attacking an enemy's rear arc. Okay. Biography. No biography. Edit record. Nah. Okay. Roster. Let's see. R&D beams. Mark 2. Let's do Mark 6. Firm. Assign slot. Oh, I need emitter module and EPS conduit. How am I supposed to get those? Catalyst. Cancel. Assign slot. Okay, well, I'll investigate that later. In all honesty, it's probably time for me to get off. Let's see. No stream tomorrow because it's Wednesday. I will stream again on Thursday. Probably either this Genesis Alpha 1 or Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment and let me know if you have a game that you'd like to see me play. If I own it already, I'll play it. If I don't own it already, well, I'll see if I can get it. But right now, what money I have left from my job is actually supposed to be going towards like rent and stuff next month. So, because I only get one other paycheck. So, but once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on Thursday.